welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Genevieve. I am a book writer, book editor, personal assistant, cat mom, introvert, aspiring full-time vlogger, and also work part-time in retail and clean for 2 relatives, although I have not done that in a while. So yeah, that needs to get back to routine, and also the personal assistant stuff also has to get back to routine. It's taking a while for me to get into 2024, and we're working it day by day as we can go. Excuse the mess behind me. I am in the middle of cleaning and kind of redecorating the room, so it's going to be a mess, but I apologize for that if that makes anybody anxious. I'm so sorry. Today, we are recording a get to know me tag video. So I went and looked at a bunch of different get to know me videos, and there was one I found, I can't remember who it was, but she just kind of combined all of the different get to know me tag questions that she found. And so I went through her questions and took some of those and eliminated others because they just weren't relevant or too personal, stuff like that. This was a requested video by one of you guys when I asked for video ideas, so thank you for that. And let's get started. So we're just gonna answer about 35 questions. Some of them I already have the answers written down. Some I'm gonna wing it because I just wasn't sure what the answers would be, so we're gonna see if they come to me as we go. Some were basic get to know me questions, some were in depth. I just kind of mixed it up a little. And you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you want to answer these questions in the comments as well. Feel free to do that. Let me know, if we have anything in common with these answers. I would definitely love to hear that. Yeah, so let's just have a little chat about our favorite things about ourselves and get to know each other. The first question, obviously, is what is your name? And as I said, my name is Genevieve Scholl. My pen name that I was using for young adult books is Evelyn Campbell. I'm still going to keep that if I write young adult. As I said in the last video, I can't really go into too much in depth of what I'm currently writing, but if I continue to just write what I'm currently writing, it's going to be a different pen name that I have not chosen yet. So we're going to see, but whatever it is probably going to still have Eve somewhere in there. So if you guys do not want to keep calling me Genevieve, you can just call me Eve if that's easier. Or G. A lot of people just call me G. Feel free. Next question is, where are you from? I am from upstate New York. I'm not going to get too specific, but I'm near the Utica area. I was raised here, not in the Utica area, but in upstate New York. Although I was born in Texas, but we moved here when I was only like 3 months old, so I don't really consider Texas any part of my life. Been in upstate New York pretty much all the time, aside from 3 or 4 months I lived in North Carolina, and I lived in Laurinburg, North Carolina. And I loved it down there. Aside from a few things, it was a little hard to adjust to kind of the lifestyle down there. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to offend anybody, because it wasn't everybody, it wasn't everything down there, but there was just some things I was very uncomfortable with in the South. So yeah, and I didn't really have enough time to adjust to it. So the reason we came back here, I was living with my best friend down there, by the way. And the reason we came back here is because she lost her job and we couldn't afford the apartment we were sharing, and we just inevitably had to come back to live with our parents because it was our only option. So, and I've been here for almost 8 years now, because Mischief will be turning 8, and we got him in North Carolina together. So that was the reason to go to North Carolina. That's what I'm choosing to believe is the reason we went to North Carolina, is because that's where we found Mischief. And by the way, Mischief is, if you're new here, Mischief is my Black Cat. He is part American Shorthair, part Siamese. He is a pain in my ass, but he's also a lovable boy, and I just don't know what I would do without him. So you'll probably see him throughout videos if you stick around. So if you're interested in cat content, hit that subscribe button down below, because he is usually in my face when I'm doing these videos. Why he's not right now, I don't know. What do I do for a living? Well, like I just said, I'm a book writer, book editor, personal assistant. I work in retail. I clean for 2 relatives who are older and can't really clean for themselves, and occasionally have some other side jobs like photography. But my main source of income is my retail job, which is only part-time. I can't give it more time right now, even if I wanted to, because they're not really paying out. But I'm trying to not have to take too much more time, because I need days to record these videos, because this is what I really want to do, is be a full-time vlogger. So yeah, I can't give too much to the retail job, but that is my main source of income at the moment. All right, sorry, I had to get a drink. Got myself some Stewart's root beer. Don't worry, YouTube, it's not alcohol. Though I'll probably drink it like alcohol, because that's what I do now. So, cheers. Okay. So the next question is your favorite color. I do not have one specific favorite color. I always tell people my favorite color is autumn tones. So oranges, greens, purples, browns. If it's part of autumn, it's part of me. That's basically my easiest way of telling you my favorite colors. All right, star sign. So all my life I've said I was a Capricorn. It may have changed recently when they changed like the dates of the star signs. I'm a Capricorn, y'all. I'm gonna keep that forever. I don't care if they continue to change it. I don't care if they completely change like the months that these signs are in. I will always be a Capricorn. So that is my answer to that. Favorite music. This one is a bit of a broad answer because though I mostly listen to classic rock, I do basically listen to everything. If I like a song, I'm going to listen to it. So, you know, classic rock, pop, country, occasionally. There's only certain country songs that really get me. You know, pretty much every kind of music genre, as long as it resonates with me, I'm going to listen to it. Part of the reason for my next answer, which is what is your favorite musician, part of the reason my answer lately has been Dua Lipa is because I never knew her music before, and now I've been listening to it, and it's like the lyrics just so resonate so much that I just can't get enough. So that's my question for that. She's not necessarily my all-time favorite musician. I don't think I have an all-time favorite musician, to be quite honest. But lately it has been Dua Lipa. Favorite food is pizza. Favorite drink is Dr. Pepper, unless we're talking alcohol, in which case it's probably a rum and root beer or a screwdriver, stuff like that. As I drink a root beer, I say my favorite soda is Dr. Pepper. But anyway, something I'm talented at has got to be writing. And for a while, I didn't believe in that. I didn't believe that I could still be a writer because I just was having so much trouble. There was years and years and years where I was not writing, and I thought it was over. You know, I thought I was done with that portion of my life. And I've recently found the love for it again, which makes me so very happy. And I think I'm doing pretty good at it. And I've gotten some feedback that I'm doing pretty good at it, so I'm happy with that. So I would say I'm still pretty talented at writing. Obviously, there's room for improvement, but there's always room for improvement no matter how talented you are at anything. Don't ever think anything's perfect, because perfect's just not a word, y'all. Something I wish I was talented at is painting. While I can do some artwork, I'm not very good, and I'm not good at painting. I'm not good at manipulating the paints and the colors. Am I competitive? No, I am not. If anything, I have always been the one to kind of stay in the background and not participate in things because I don't want to be the center of attention and I don't want to screw things up. I've gotten a little bit better about the being the center of attention thing. I still don't love it because of my anxieties, but I'm less in the shadows now than I used to be. When I was a kid in like high school and stuff, I used to hide as much as physically possible. I used to hide into my clothes. I used to hide into my locker. I used to, you know, if I had a free period, I would disappear somewhere where nobody could find me. You know, it used to always be that way, and I've gotten a little bit better at that lately. So one of the questions that I did not have a prepared answer for was describe yourself in one sentence. This is hard to do, especially because of something that I keep teasing you guys about that I can't tell you about yet. But I think if I had to choose this very moment with what I'm allowed to tell you guys, I think the sentence I would use to describe myself is somebody learning to be comfortable in their own skin, because I'm losing a lot of weight, which is not necessarily the being comfortable in your own skin thing. That's just helping me find the comfort, I guess. I am changing my outfits to things that I want to wear and not what other people should wear, which I'll link that video somewhere when I redid my winter wardrobe. We'll be doing another one in the spring. I'm basically living for me now instead of other people, and I think that's helping me find comfort in my own skin and my own mind. Finding comfort in your own skin is one thing. Finding comfort in your own mind, whew, that is difficult, and I'm working on it. Best compliment I've ever been given. I have not been given a lot of compliments. There's been a lot of time in my life where people just didn't really care about me. I'm the younger of two siblings, and he's always been the, I don't want to say more important one. He hasn't been a favorite. It's not anything like that. It's just that he's 3 years older than me, and so like he does everything first, and you know, his accomplishments come first, and it just kind of overshadows mine. It's not to say my family doesn't love me, they do. I just don't really, there's not really any compliments I've been given that stick in my mind. The only thing I can really think is a recent one that Lynn, who is the woman that I do the personal assistant work for, she recently told me that I have become more confident and more comfortable with myself, and I'm finding myself, and that means a lot to me because that is what I'm trying to work on right now. So that's honestly the best thing I can think of right now that I've gotten as a compliment. What are your bad habits? Okay, we all have bad habits. Don't think for a minute you don't. You might not see them, but you have them. And I didn't want to go too crazy with this. I don't feel like I have a ton of bad habits, but I do know one of my really big bad habits is overthinking everything. And I'm working on that now too. That's one of the things about being comfortable in your own mind is you got to work on your bad habits, especially if they're mental bad habits. And mine definitely is. I overthink everything, every tiny little, you know, problem that arises or confusion or anything. I always way overthink it. And that's not good for me. So that's got to stop right now. I'm not naive enough to think it's going to be something that can happen overnight, but I'm definitely working on it. And I feel like I'm getting better. There are times when certain things set me off with the overthinking, and that's always going to happen, but I'm just got to realize that it's not as big of a deal as I'm making it and try to just go with the flow. Too much foam. All right, this next question is a doozy, and I still don't know if I know the answer. It's, what is your favorite thing about yourself? And I honestly, I don't know, y'all. It's very hard to find something we like about ourselves. I mean, if we're talking physicality, it used to be my eyes. Now, well, I'm getting old. I guess, honestly, physically, especially since losing the weight, my favorite thing is my legs, which, let's celebrate, y'all, because I was able to put on a pair of size 16 jeans. Yay! I'm finally able to wear my size 16 jeans. In case anybody's wondering, the amount of weight I have lost is 75 total pounds in the last year and a half. I'm working on trying to lose 30 more, and that's going to be more on purpose than the rest of the weight was, because some of it was from having mouth surgery, not being able to eat, some of it was from depression, etc., etc. But now I'm actually consciously working on losing another 30 so I can get somewhere in my average for my height, which it'll be the high part of the average, but that's what I'm shooting for, because I don't want to go too crazy and shoot for something unattainable and then get disappointed when I don't do it. So I'm shooting for another 30 pounds. I don't have to do it in any certain time. It's just when I hit that point, that means I've accomplished it. Otherwise, not physically, I guess the thing that I like about myself is that I care for others so much. Sometimes that gets me into trouble. Sometimes that causes stress on me, and sometimes I go overboard. I will put that out there. Sometimes I go overboard with caring for the people that mean something to me. So I'm sorry, but it's just my love language to care for my friends, especially when it comes to like giving gifts and stuff, which I tend to go overboard with. But that's just my love language. So I would say that's probably my favorite thing about myself, is how much I care about the people that mean something to me. The next question is, what is your biggest accomplishment? And this is gonna sound superficial, but it's really not, because my answer is getting my first car. And the reason I say it's not superficial, even though it kind of sounds like it, is because I did it mostly on my own. My family kind of helped with like the last couple of $100 I needed for the down payment, but I did it mostly for myself when I was working at the law firm. And the reason I say it's my biggest accomplishment, even though it's not usually too big of an accomplishment for people normally, like it is at the time, but it's not like the biggest accomplishment of their life. But the reason I say it is for me is because I was already in my 30s when I got it. I had never had a car before that. I had never had any kind of freedom before that. I always had to rely on other people, and getting my first car really changed my life. It was, like I said, it gave me freedom. I was able to basically do whatever I wanted, within reason. You know, the first time I got to drive it, like after I purchasing it, not just test driving it, was an amazing feeling, And I always feel accomplished when like I have to do a repair on it, even though it sucks because of money, or I clean it or something like that. And I love my car. It's not a new car by any means. It has a lot of miles on it, but I love my car. And like I said in the last video, I'm so ecstatic that it is usable again, because I did not want to get rid of my car. I only had it for 3 years before it broke down and I couldn't use it. So I was really, really sad about that. And I didn't like not having my freedom. I felt trapped, honestly. And now I have my freedom back and I have my car back and everything's great. So that is why that is my biggest accomplishment in my life as of now. Ideal first date. This is a hard one because I honestly don't think there's any such thing as an ideal first date. I feel like as long as you make your date feel special and cared for and they're, you know, your center of attention for that date, I think that's the most important thing. I don't think it really matters where you go or what you do, as long as you know, give them the attention they deserve and get to know them and like make it meaningful. Don't just talk, you know, don't just make small talk. Don't just, you know, eat a dinner and stare at your phones the whole time. Don't just like, I don't even know examples, but just make it meaningful. Make it so when they leave from the first date and when you leave from the first date, make it so that it's the only thing they can think about and you can think about for the rest of the night. Make it so that in the morning you're smiling and you're happy and everything that happened the night before is still on your mind and taking you through the next couple of days or week or whatever until you can see that person again. That's, I think, what is the most meaningful thing about a first date and a second date and a third date and a 10th date. Like anytime you go on a date with somebody, make sure that's how you treat them, because that's how everybody deserves to be treated. Favorite subject in school was English. Best subject in school was English. And my favorite teacher was my English teacher in 7th grade, Mrs. Frigetta, who is the one that not only pretty much got me into my love of reading, but also encouraged me to start writing, like seriously writing. So she will always forever be my favorite teacher. The app I use the most, this one actually took me a minute to think about because I use a lot of apps, but honestly, I think the one I go into the most probably is going to be YouTube. Between working on YouTube and watching YouTube, possibly the second one would be Pinterest, although I do have spouts where I stop looking at Pinterest for quite a long time. Sometimes that answer changes. I did finally cave. I know I said I would never do it, but I did finally cave and got TikTok. And I could see why everybody gets so drawn in from that. I have to force myself to stop looking at it most days. I've only had it for like 2-3 days at this point. But still, I always have to force myself to stop looking at it. But I did finally get sucked in. Let's just say it's been kind of a rabbit hole. But I'm not going to make that my most used app, no matter what. If it gets to that point, it's getting deleted. What is a technology piece you can't live without? TV. 100% TV. I could do without a computer. I could do without a radio, although not having music would kill me probably. I could do without not having a phone. Again, probably would kill me because I wouldn't be connected to my friends and stuff. But if it was not for television, I think I probably would have gone insane by now. Because as much as I love to read and write and do other things that don't involve technology, television is what I use when I'm A, too tired to do anything else and just need some sort of entertainment. B, when I'm lonely and I need some noise. Or C, like, you know those days where you just want to like rot on the couch and don't want to think? That's what television does for me. That I put on something that I've seen a million times and just rot. And some days you need that. So TV is definitely my answer for that question. What are some countries you visited? I have not traveled that much. I am going to be starting to travel, whether it's to other countries or other states. I haven't, you know, it depends on money and whatnot, but I am looking forward to starting to do more travel. That started basically with my cruise, which I will link that video. Actually, it's a series of videos, so I'll link the playlist, but that basically started with that, as that I got the travel bug. And that cruise went to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. And then I've also been to Canada a couple of times. Otherwise, my travel has been in the United States, New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, North Carolina, Florida, Las Vegas, Vermont. There's probably others, but Vegas is the farthest I've gone in the United States. So, and didn't love it. Didn't love that trip at all. So, will not be going back to Vegas. No. The only good thing that I found about Vegas is that I got to see the Titanic exhibit when it was still there, which was fantastic because I'm a Titanic freak. I wanted to know everything about Titanic history and everything, so that was great. But otherwise, no, I will not be going back to Vegas. Nope. Countries that you want to visit: Ireland, Greece, and England. Those are my top 3. There's probably others, but those are my top 3. I want to go to England because I love everything British, and I want to be there. I want to be in London and seeing everything iconically British. I want to be that tourist. I want to go to Greece because I just love the atmosphere and the gorgeous water and all of that, and the buildings are, to die for. And Ireland, I've always wanted to go to Ireland. I've always felt Ireland in my heart, even though I'm not Irish. That's just always been a destination since the time I even learned about Ireland. That's always been a destination that I've wanted to go to. So, and it's more like the country portion of Ireland. Like, I don't want to really go to Dublin, but I'd like to see the country and like the fields and all of that. Next question is, what is at the top of your bucket list? And this changes because my bucket list isn't really like in order. It's just things that I want to do or accomplish before I die, and it's just like when it randomly comes to me, I add it to the list. And right now the big thing is getting a tattoo. I want to get my first tattoo. I've been wanting to have a tattoo for a while, and since I've been doing this whole doing things for myself and not other people thing, I've really started wanting to have a tattoo. So I do want to get my first tattoo pretty soon, but it's cost a lot of money even for a small one, so it's something I have to seriously consider, save up for, use a tax money for, whatever, although I don't think I'm going to be getting much back in tax money, so that's probably going to have to go towards bills anyway. But yes, that's definitely something I want to do, and it's something I'm working towards. I just have to wait until I can afford it, and also until I figure out the exact tattoo I want, because I don't want tattoos just to have tattoos. Like, I want my tattoos to have meaning, at least to me. It doesn't have to have meaning to other people, but I want it to have meaning to me. I don't want to just get a willy-nilly tattoo. I want it to mean something. So I'm still thinking about what I want. Keeping in vein with that doing things for myself and not other people thing, the next question is, what advice would you give to your younger self? And that is it right there. I would tell my younger self, do things for you and not other people. Stop trying to be a people pleaser. Stop, doing things because people say you have to. Like, I went to college because my family said I should. Like, I never wanted to go to college the first time, but my family said I should, and I felt that pressure from them, and so I went. And it wasn't a great time because I didn't ever finish that degree. When I went to school for myself, and I actually wanted to go to school for myself, when I went from a paralegal degree, I finished it. And even though I'm not using it, that was an accomplishment because I wasn't feeling pressured to do it from anybody but myself. So that would definitely be my advice to my younger self. And then we just have a couple of, not so important questions. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Cats or dogs? Cats. What is your height? 5'4". Favorite movie? Star Wars franchise. Favorite restaurant? Any Irish pub or diner. I love diner food, and I always feel like anytime I go anywhere new, I have to go to a diner to try out their diner. But I also just really love Irish food, so Irish pubs for sure. Favorite TV shows? Anything murder mystery, Supernatural, Merlin, Friends, Spin City. I love Spin City because Michael J. Fox is one of my favorite actors. So I have a wide range of TV shows I like, but honestly, murder mysteries are probably my favorite. Murder mysteries and like fantasies. And if you could put both of those together, fantastic. And then the last question is, what is your fashion sense? In addition to the winter wardrobe video I did, I've also been continuing to change up my wardrobe, and I've found that what I am comfortable in is a masculine, comfortable wardrobe with feminine touches and anything practical. So like, I'm wearing a t-shirt right now, which is Ravenclaw t-shirt, which is not very feminine, but I have jewelry on, I got earrings, I got a necklace, I got my thumb ring, stuff like that. Like, I add feminine touches, but it's more of a comfortable, masculine, practical wardrobe. And there's nothing wrong with that, because even though it's not typically what a girl is supposed to wear, it is something that you can adjust and like accessorize and stuff to your own fashion sense, your own comfortability, which is important to be comfortable. Don't wear anything that's not comfortable. That's my big advice. If it's comfortable, wear it. Who cares if other people don't like it on you? Who cares if it's, not tight or not baggy? If tight is what you're comfortable in, do it. Wear what you want to wear, y'all, not what other people tell you you should wear. That is my mentality for the rest of my life now, and it has treated me fantastic the last couple of months. So that is all of the questions. That is the get to know me video. I know I talked kind of fast, but I didn't want to make this too long since it is a sit down video, and those can tend to get a little boring if they go too long. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts. Let me know your answers to the questions. If you agree with anything with me, if you disagree, love to have a chat with you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video and for watching all of my videos and sticking around. I could not wait to post more videos and continue through 2024 with y'all. So talk to you soon. Bye.